Real wealth rarely announces itself in the beginning. It grows quietly, long before the numbers in your bank account make it obvious. The first signs appear in your behavior: small choices, new priorities, and a different way of seeing the world. These changes seem subtle, but they shape the financial foundation you're building. When these habits start showing up in your daily life, it usually means your future is shifting under the surface. Before we continue, if you like learning about money in a simple and practical way, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button to support the channel and help spread content that isn't usually taught. Sign number 1. You value time over money. One of the earliest signs of real wealth is when you begin treating your time as a scarce resource. At some point, you stop accepting low-value commitments that drain hours and offer almost nothing in return. You notice how often people trade entire evenings, weekends, or energy for rewards that barely move their lives forward. When this awareness kicks in, your priorities shift. You start choosing tasks that create momentum and declining those that only create exhaustion. This mindset shows up in small, practical decisions. Maybe you began using tools that automate repetitive work. Maybe you hired help for chores that consume your best hours. Maybe you stopped participating in conversations or activities that leave you mentally drained. Each choice frees time for learning, earning, resting, or planning, activities that actually build your future. As this habit strengthens, something important happens. Your days become structured around progress. You spend less time reacting and more time creating. People who grow wealthy don't magically gain more hours. They simply stop wasting the ones they have. Sign number 2. You have multiple income streams. A strong sign of building wealth is when your income no longer comes from a single place. Most people depend entirely on their primary job, which leaves them exposed to any change they cannot control. When you begin earning from different sources, even small amounts, you create stability and open the door to long-term growth. This shift usually starts with modest experiments. A weekend service that brings in a few extra dollars, a small digital project that pays you while you're asleep, dividends from an investment account, freelance work that uses a skill you already have. These numbers might look insignificant in the beginning, but they represent something far more valuable: independence. Multiple income streams also teach you improvement through action. You test ideas, refine them, discover strengths you didn't know you had, and gradually build confidence to pursue bigger opportunities. People who diversify their income don't wait for permission to earn more. They create possibilities. Over time, this approach changes how you think about money. You stop relying on luck or a single paycheck and start building a structure that can grow even when one part slows down. Sign number 3. You're living below your means. Another powerful sign of growing wealth is the ability to maintain a lifestyle that costs less than what you earn. This doesn't come from deprivation, it comes from clarity. You reach a point where every purchase is evaluated with intention and impulse spending loses strength. Instead of chasing upgrades, you create space between your income and your expenses, and that gap becomes the engine of your financial growth. This habit shows up when you stop trying to match the spending patterns of people around you. You no longer feel pressured to buy the newest phone or move into a bigger apartment just because others are doing it. You understand that consistency builds more wealth than constant consumption. A person earning a high salary but spending everything remains stuck. Someone earning less but keeping a meaningful gap moves forward every month. Living below your means also brings emotional freedom. You feel lighter, more in control, and less stressed when unexpected expenses appear. This stability becomes a competitive advantage because it allows you to save, invest, and make choices based on strategy instead of survival. Sign number 4. You make investing a priority. A clear sign of growing wealth is the moment investing becomes automatic in your life. You no longer wait to see what's left at the end of the month. Instead, you set money aside the moment income arrives. This habit shows that you think ahead and that your future has a reserved place in your present decisions. People who build wealth understand that growth comes from consistency. They don't chase perfect timing, predictions, or quick wins. They focus on steady contributions that compound over the years. Even a small amount invested regularly can create significant results when given enough time. For example, someone investing a modest monthly amount over a decade often ends up with more stability than someone who only invests occasionally with larger sums. Prioritizing investing also changes how you evaluate opportunities. You pay more attention to fees, risks, long-term potential, and how each decision fits into your bigger strategy. You start thinking like a builder, not a spender. When investing becomes a routine instead of an afterthought, your financial life begins moving in a direction that many people never experience. Sign number 5. You don't flash your money. A meaningful sign of quiet wealth is the shift from trying to look successful to wanting to be financially secure. When this happens, the desire to impress fades. You stop feeling the need to buy symbols of status, and you begin valuing what those symbols often hide: financial stress, payments, and pressure to maintain an image. People who build lasting wealth usually choose discretion. They care more about stability than attention. Instead of spending on items that lose value quickly, they channel money into things that strengthen their financial base: investments, savings, skills, and opportunities. This choice reflects maturity, not minimalism. It shows you understand that wealth grows faster when it isn't constantly converted into possessions. You may also notice that your relationship with social validation changes. Compliments about expensive purchases no longer feel meaningful. Peace of mind, growing savings, and the ability to make independent decisions become far more satisfying. Many financially stable individuals live in modest homes, drive regular cars, and avoid unnecessary upgrades because they know their money works best when it works quietly. Sign number 6. Your emergency fund is solid. A strong emergency fund is one of the clearest signs that your financial foundation is taking shape. Most people live close to the edge, hoping nothing unexpected happens. When you build a cushion that covers several months of living expenses, you step into a different category, one grounded in preparation rather than fear. This habit changes the way you experience life. A sudden car repair, a medical bill, or a temporary loss of income stops feeling like a crisis and becomes a manageable inconvenience. That stability protects your long-term plans because you no longer need to interrupt investments or rely on debt to handle emergencies. You stay on track while others are forced to start over. A solid emergency fund also improves decision-making. You can negotiate better, take calculated risks, and decline opportunities that don't serve you. You no longer act from desperation. You act from strategy. This shift is subtle, but it transforms the trajectory of your finances. It shows that you aren't just thinking about today, you're protecting the future you're building. Sign number 7. You track your net worth. Another strong sign of growing wealth is the habit of monitoring your net worth. Instead of focusing only on income, you pay attention to what you keep, what you're building, and how your financial choices influence your overall position. This shift brings clarity. It reveals progress that would otherwise go unnoticed and exposes weaknesses that need adjustment. Tracking your net worth also transforms the way you behave. When you see numbers move each month, even slightly, you become more intentional. You avoid unnecessary debt, you save with purpose, and you invest with a clearer sense of direction. People who measure their financial life consistently tend to make better decisions because they can see the effects in real time. This habit doesn't require complex spreadsheets or advanced tools. A simple review of your accounts, debts, and investments is enough to give you a clear picture. What matters is the awareness. Most people go years without ever calculating their net worth, which leaves them guessing about their financial reality. When you track it, you stop guessing and start directing your growth. Sign number 8. You learn about money constantly. A powerful sign of future wealth appears when learning about money becomes part of your routine. You start seeking information naturally, reading books, watching videos, listening to conversations that sharpen how you think about earning, saving, investing, and building. This curiosity signals growth because it shapes decisions long before the results appear. People who evolve financially treat knowledge as a tool. They understand that better choices come from better understanding. Over time, you begin to recognize patterns: how markets behave, how people make mistakes, how small habits compound, and how opportunities show up for those who are prepared. This insight helps you avoid traps that keep many stuck, like emotional spending, high-interest debt, or impulsive investing. Continuous learning also increases your confidence. You stop feeling intimidated by financial concepts and start applying them naturally. You become more comfortable analyzing risks, questioning outdated beliefs, and exploring new possibilities. The more you learn, the more capable you feel of shaping your financial life deliberately. Sign number 9. You focus on building, not just earning. A defining sign of future wealth is when your attention shifts from short-term income to long-term creation. Instead of asking, "How do I earn more this month?" you begin asking, "What can I build that will keep growing?" This mindset opens a different path. one built on assets, systems, and opportunities that continue working even when you're not. People who think this way look for ways to create lasting value. They develop skills that compound, build projects that can scale, and invest in assets that produce returns consistently. This approach separates you from the cycle where income rises and spending rises with it. You start viewing effort as something that should generate progress beyond the immediate reward. This shift also changes how you evaluate your time. Tasks that once felt productive begin to look small compared to activities that build something greater. You recognize the difference between staying busy and making progress. As this awareness grows, your decisions become more strategic, and the gap between routine work and meaningful creation becomes unmistakable. If you've noticed even a few of these signs in your life, it means your financial foundation is strengthening quietly in the background. You're developing habits that shape long-term stability, often long before the results become visible. Wealth begins with direction, not numbers. These shifts in behavior show that your mindset is evolving, and that evolution is what builds the future you're working toward. If this video helped you somehow, take a second to hit the like button. It really supports the channel. And if you're ready to stop chasing the illusion of success and start building real freedom, subscribe for more videos like this. Thank you for watching.